Hi, let's have a look at how many different ways you can order or um, maybe put numbers in an order. And let's assume that I have three spots that I can put numbers, one here, and one here. And I have a bag of numbers over here from 0 through 9. So if I look at this bag, inside my bag I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different options. So if I pull out a number, maybe I'll pull out a 2, and then maybe depending on whether, let's say I put my 2 back in and I pull out the number 6, and I can put my number 6 back in, and now I pull out the number 2 again. So I've made the number 262. And do you see how I've been able to reuse those numbers? So watch the question. If the question says you can reuse the numbers, then remember that as soon as I take out my 2 or my 4, it goes right back in the bag. So looking inside my bag, I've got 10 options for my first number or my first digit. I put the number back in, and I have 10 numbers again. For my second digit, I put my number back in the bag, and I have 10 numbers for my third digit. So if I have a 3-digit number, I have a 10 times a 10 times a 10. Basically, I have 10 to the third power choices for that number. So it's equal to 10 to the third power. And that's how many different numbers I can make from this bag. So let's do it differently now. Let's say that if I pull a number out of the bag, now let's say I want to make a 4-digit number, and let's say that if I pull out the 2, I can't put it back in again. So if I do that, starting with my numbers here, I have 10 options. If I pull out, let's say the first number I pull out is the 2, and it's going to stay outside of my bag. And so now I only have 9 options for my second number. So let's say I pull out a 6, and it's coming out of the bag, and I can't put it back in. So now if I count up how many numbers I have 8 options. I have 8 numbers to choose from. So if I pull out another number and it comes out of the bag, and then I am left with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 options left in my bag. And so to find out the total possible numbers that I can make there, I would take my 10 times my 9 times my 8 and times my 7. And times my 7. Okay. Now, if you're looking at the probability of what are the chances that you're going to pull out a specific number, let's look at that, because that's going to be a fraction. Okay, so I just quickly deleted the bottom there since I didn't want to run out of space. Okay, so 10, we learned that if I was putting the numbers back in the bag, I'll always have 10 options in my bag, and I multiply 10 times 10 times 10 in this case because I have three digits, which is 10 to the third power, which is 1,000. Now, if I'm making one number out of 1,000 options, then the probability that I will have that one number is 1 divided by 10 to the third power, or 1 divided by 1,000. The probability, so if I'm putting them back in the, if I'm taking them out and I'm not putting them back in the bag, the probability that I will get 1 out of this combination of 4 numbers, it would be 1 divided by 10 times 9 times 8 times 7. So please let me know if you have any questions.